Well, folks, here we are. A big update. The big update. The length of time between updates has sometimes been commensurate with the gravity of events occurring in the interval. This one is no exception. As you can see, I'm back in my place. The old familiar set. Last time we saw each other, I was in Vancouver. I'll cut right to the chase. My friends, I have come home to die. It is not how any of us expected it to go. The pillars of this, what I'm calling conclusion, understanding, decision, are two. The first came from my body. It's a long story, what has been going on with my body since 1 week post-surgery, when I last really talked about anything of substance. At that point, everything was going perfectly. That lasted for another 2 weeks or so. And then there was simply a cascading sequence of complications and new symptoms, return, worsening, change of complications and symptoms. Culminating in my body telling me in no uncertain terms, or at least in an experience that was accompanied by a profound flash of understanding, that it was done, that my body was done. The second pillar of this conclusion comes 2-3 days later, speaking with the oncologist, who CAT scan, then there was chemo, then another CAT scan. Odds of success of continued treatment, 10%. And you know, I appreciate that 10. It doesn't fuck around. There's no arguing. 35%, that's a complicated situation. But 10, everything becomes clear. I would receive marginally better, maybe even a substantial margin, though that has not been the case so far, care in Vancouver. But I'm no longer trying to get well. I'm no longer trying to get my life back. I'm no longer trying to have a lifespan of any given duration. So I very smoothly, as it turned out, transferred to the Trail Hospital, and that is where I spend my nights, hooked up to intravenous nutrition. And then, like a reverse vampire, when the sun comes out, I fly off with my dangly little subcutaneous butterfly. And work my magic in the world. So I've come home to die. The oncologist was very straightforward about my odds, about what continued chemo might be like, It was a very respectful conversation, very kind. And she says she had no idea how long I have. I also have no idea how long I have. From a intuitive or felt sense, subjective. When I first, this was 2 weeks ago. This was 2 weeks ago that my body told me it was packing it in. So I guess about a week and a half from the confirmation with the doc of the objective side of things. Where was I going? In that intervening time, things have stabilized a lot. That's where I was going. Things have stabilized a lot, and my symptoms are not, what will this half day bring? So my sense is that I have longer than I did. When I made the decision about 2 weeks ago to come back home to die, excuse me, I was considering my life in the span of weeks. I have weeks left, I don't know how many. I still have no idea what a day is going to bring. My body is relatively stable, and it's stable in a pretty good place. I'm in hardly any pain, and I've lost a lot of strength, stamina, but my mobility is pretty good. I still have my balance, my coordination, my flexibility, that. That said, a month ago, a tumor grew and blocked my ureters, and my kidneys were failing. I went for a routine blood test, and the doctor came into the room and said, your kidney condition, your kidney function is terrible. You need to go to the hospital right now. So cue a week in the hospital, them figuring it out and ultimately treating it. I spent a couple of days thinking my kidneys were failing, and that's how I was going to die. Turns out it was just mechanical impediment of urine flow. And once we got some stents in there, my kidneys could drain, and I was okay. This is simply to illustrate that I have very active cancer, and it can pop up goddamn wherever, and with whatever impact that has. So I could wake up tomorrow in a new pain that does not end, or a new dysfunction requiring some sort of support. Every day I wake up and I check in with myself. Okay, I have a day. Awesome. I've been filling my days with as much meaning as possible, with as much richness, as much aliveness as my mind can think of, and my spirit calls for, and it's been great. Many of you watching this will have had some of these really special experiences that I've been so blessed with the past couple weeks. And now that I'm making this public, there's going to be public things. Yeah, how can you be part of this? I'm writing everything down these days. Yeah, it's pretty fucked up, I know. Everything was going perfectly. The last time you saw me, and I was optimistic, that was real. You probably also saw the strain I was under. There's a whole video I'll make about the giving up of the fight. What that was like and has been like. But it took me out of my suffering. And I'll leave it there for now. Some very happy people outside. Or one happy person on a phone. So, I shall shortly have a memorial page. It's just going to be aaronbanfield.com. It already exists as my business page. Keep the testimonials portion. So it'll be announced when it's ready to go. Visit the memorial page and leave something. A reviewlogy, some photo of me. You know what these things are. We are repurposing GoFundMe. There's not a whole lot of cancer treatment that's still available, and it's certainly not my focus. Some innocuous things that otherwise generally raise well-being I'm still doing, but the big guns are too disruptive to my very fragile equilibrium. And I'm devoting my energy towards simchas, just the pure joy of life, and sitting in an IV for 2.5 hours when I could be walking in the forest with my friends, not knowing how many days of forest are available yet. It's easy. So we are pivoting our fundraising to facilitate me having lovely experiences. For example, hosting a big community Shabbat in a week. So I want to have one last Jewish event with the local community and opening it up to everyone, like all my dear friends in the region. There will be a link to the event. I want to go up really, really high into the mountains, and a little tour like that takes money. And my computer was on the fritz, so I was like, man, I could spend a bunch of time fixing my computer, but that is not what I want to do. So I'm just going to buy a new computer, and things like this will come up. Anyways, nice things for me, but my cup runneth over. And more somberly, funeral and related expenses, so that it's not a burden on my family. And most importantly, the fundraiser is now also for my family, so that they can be supported in their self-care and anything special they want to do, like if they want to go walk the Camino for a while, you know. I'd like there to be some money for them to just help their process. And anything left over after that time will be rolled into the Aaron Banfield Memorial Chinese Medicine Scholarship, which will have its own video. Some of you don't know me very well, some of you know me better. But if there's any like object of mine, and I'll be putting them up so that people can know them, that you would like as a memento or a keepsake, just let me know somehow. I'll put it aside. You can either pick it up or it'll get sent off. Come visit. I'm in Rossland, which is next to Trail, which is close to Nelson. I don't know how long I have. Sooner the better. But if you want to see me one last time, especially folks in Victoria, it's not that big a schlep. There's lots you can do across BC. Be nice to see you in person one last time. I wish I'd made a trip to Vic. I'm taking video requests. If there is a story from my life that you know, story that we shared together, a joke of mine that you particularly enjoy, or if you'd like to hear my thoughts about something, due to being human. Some folks say that I'm kind of wise right now because of this whole 1 foot on the other side thing I have going on. I'm having such experiences with what the phenomenon of death is. Maybe there'll be a video on that. I don't feel quite got the chops for it. But I'm taking video requests. If there is a poem you would like me to read, these will go up on my YouTube channel if you want, or I'll just make something for you personally. Could be reflections on you. I promise to be kind. Video requests. Yeah, these are ways you can participate in this whole process going on. And that's me. You can expect regular videos now that the news is out. A change at the GoFundMe, my memorial site, aaronbanfield.com, coming up, and me to just be a lot more present. So, thank you all always for everything. So much love. So much love. And we'll talk to you soon.